Today's first impressions video is on Tiny House Sim. This is the demo and the full game releases on Steam on the 5th of November. I would like to sing this game's praises. I wanted to enjoy this game a lot more than I actually did. Unfortunately, if I wanted to do the things in this game, I would probably just go and play House Flipper or House Flipper 2 and have a better overall experience. That being said, we're going to go through the options and then the gameplay, and you guys can make up your own minds as to whether this is a game that you want to put your time and, more importantly, your money into. First look, we'll look at the settings. Now, unfortunately, there really isn't a lot here, and I'm hoping that on the full release, they are going to improve this, because without these options, they're already losing to House Flipper and House Flipper 2 immediately. The mouse sensitivity is set at 0.8, which is good. However, there is this weird lag with the mouse, which means that when you're doing things like painting or putting tiles down, you can often go over the bit that you should be going over, and that causes you to have to go over it again to repair stuff, so it is worth bearing in mind. The graphics options are honestly woeful, and the game is not that greatly optimized either. Even on medium with AA at 8, which is the maximum amount that you can have, I was still getting stuttering and not great performance, and on top of that, the textures in this game aren't great at medium quality. For reference, I am using a i9 10 series and a 4060 Ti 16GB, which should be more than enough to handle a game like this. Your gameplay options, you've just got language. Your display options, you've got your monitor, you've got exclusive full screen, windowed full screen, and that's pretty much it. There is no borderless full screen, which is really annoying. What I can say is that the music does continue to play in the background when you alt-tab out the game, which for me is quite nice. VSync on or off, and exposure. Again, there aren't a lot of options here, and graphics and display could very easily be merged into one setting just to save time and space. And I hope that on full release there are more options to go through. It's not all doom and gloom though. Your sound options are actually quite pleasant. The master volume starts at 50%, the sound effects start at 40%, music is at 20%, ambience is at 15%, and UI volume is at 20%. This is a really nice sound setup, and it doesn't blow your ears out when you first start the game. Okay, this is only a demo, which means that you can only really do the tutorial. After that, you get a load of missions that you are unable to take. That's really kind of annoying. But it gives me a good chance to showcase what it is you have to do. So, just like House Flipper 2, you get the phone call and you get some jobs that you can do, and you can get rid of that by doing or pressing the Z key. Then you can get in your car. So there is driving, which they don't have in House Flipper 2. And honestly, I kind of prefer that. The handling in these cars when you get these sorts of games are not great. There is this weird like ticking sound that sounds more like an indicator than a reverse signal when you go backwards. And you have a rear camera, which is not very good because you can't actually move it at all. You do have some limited movement when you're walking or driving around with your mouse. But again, because you've got the rear camera, you can't actually turn the mouse all the way around to get a 360 view. As you can see here, it's not greatly optimized. I've got some weird stuttering going on. I'm hoping that this is fixed for the full game, because this could cause some people some serious motion sickness. The GPS, however, is pretty damn good and does give you a good idea of where you need to go. However, with no other UI for driving, you don't know how fast you're going, you don't know the revs, you don't know anything. There's literally nothing there. There's no indicator that you can use, and as you can see, the AI cars are as dumb as bricks. Once you have got to the location, you are then presented with this. This is your email screen. This again is very similar to House Flipper 2, but worse. On House Flipper 2, you had a map and you could choose the jobs that you wanted to do, and you wouldn't need to drive there. You could just do them. On this, you've got to drive to the place and then do the thing. And again, this is a demo, so you can't actually join an auction, and you can't take any other jobs on. So, you take your job. Once you've taken your job, you are led into this, and this is where it really lets you down. Considering that this is a tutorial, it doesn't do a very good job of telling you what it is you need to do or how to do it. All you get told is you can press tab and you can see that you've got some of the paint done, you got some of the flooring done in this room, and you need to buy these things and get rid of these. But you kind of have to figure out how to do that on your own. What you have to do is you have to use the right mouse button and then use your mouse to circle around each of the options. And again, because you've got this weird sort of lag, it's not very good for doing that. So you kind of have to sort of wing it. And then what I will say is once you have got your chosen piece of hardware, you can see where you need to build and it's highlighted. But again, doesn't tell you. There is no scan button like on House Flipper 2. You've kind of just left to your own devices to try and figure it out what you've got to do. What is nice is that it does allow you to make a mistake in that if you try and build somewhere that you don't need to, it will let you. You can just build anywhere, anything, which is kind of cool. However, it does mean that you're going to have to go over and do all that again. So you basically go like that, and you have a wall. Now, unlike House Flipper and House Flipper 2, you don't have levels in the demo. So you've got everything available. You've got unlimited budget. You've got all your skills. I don't know if in the full game you're going to have to level them up. In other words, that you're going to be able to build, say, 1, and you're only going to be limited to like 4 across or 2 up or whatever. So that's interesting to see. Then with your paint. Now, interestingly enough, again, unlike House Flipper 2, and I'm going to be making a lot of comparisons here, when you go for your paint, it doesn't matter what it is you're buying, you can buy it all using the paint option. It's not a separate option within itself, which is, one, kind of confusing, because if you don't know what you're doing, you don't know how it's going to work, but also, 2, kind of intuitive and cool, because you can just click on the thing and it will change it to the tile or the wallpaper or whatever that you're doing. Again, once you've done that, you've got to hunt around the house to find out where it is that it wants you to put it, because there is no direction or anything that it tells you that you need to go. So you're going to go here and you're going to put it across. Now, you can't press and hold the left mouse key to drag it across like you can with the build option. And again, on House Flipper 2, you can just click and drag. You select an area that you're going to work on and then you fill it from there. Another thing that's kind of annoying is that it does allow you to go, again, on places that you shouldn't be, and then you are going to have to go ahead and wallpaper or paint over that area as well. You have a seller, and it will let you just sell anything at all, and it doesn't take things off you for that. But if you click, again, on the tab and scroll down, you can see the things that it wants you to remove. So it wants me to remove certain windows, it wants me to remove the old beds, and things like that. Overall, it's not bad as a demo, but I do feel like I would just prefer to play House Flipper. It's just a better game. It looks better, it plays better, it runs smoother, there are more graphics options, there are more things that you can do in the game. Now, what I will say is the sheer amount of things that you can buy is incredible. There is a lot of things that you can get. There are a lot of different paints and stuff. There's a lot of customization and choice. I just don't think it's very well implemented as a result. Let me know in those comments down below what you think. Let me know if you've tried this demo. Let me know if you're going to be buying the game, or let me know if you would just prefer to play House Flipper 2. Thank you very much for watching, and hope to see you all in the next video. Ciao, ciao.